Hi there, Suzanne. Thanks for opting in. It's crazy you're the only student that has opted in your section. I can't believe it. So, way to get feedback. That's really good to go above and beyond and do that when nobody else is. So let's go ahead and take a look at your design. First of all, before you turn in your final version, make sure to turn off your guides and your color key before you submit it. Um, I This ad is really cute. I'm looking forward to seeing what you're doing with it and how you're spinning it off. All right, so original ad, thanks for switching out that type. The type that's on here before, I'm seeing a lot of that in other designs. You have nice contrasting typography. That's what I'm noticing right off the bat. Do me a favor and take the black stroke off this shape. I'm always going to recommend you do that. It's instantly going to help your design look a little bit more fresh. Um, Now, I like what you're doing with having this line go under your written content. Make sure you zoom in carefully and look at these edges. See how there's a little bit of a gap here, and then there's no gap on this one. And then pay attention to small things. For example, when you follow this line up, you're already in the writing. But when you follow this line up, the writing is slightly to the side of that. Now, I would recommend making them all probably resemble this one. But I don't think I would put a little bit more room between where your writing ends and where this line ends. I probably wouldn't have your letters overlapping this blue line unless you make it like a really light blue line, because the dark blue or the medium blue and the black is creating a bit of a tangent. Some of your letters could get misinterpreted, and so usually you want to avoid scenarios like that. So either you would make this a lighter color, which I kind of like the dark blue since it goes along with the logo and everything else you have, or you could do a contrasting color. You could do like yellow or maybe orange or something. And have that come up, and then give yourself a little bit of a space between the bottom of your letters and the line so that you can have room between where you have these drop down portions of the letter, the little bit of a buffer between that and where this line is, okay? And then make sure it's always consistent where your writing starts. If you're starting right up above the line or if you're bumped over to the right a little bit, whatever you do with your drawovers, make sure they're consistent, okay? Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's it. That's a good start. Here's a cool other little draw over. Make sure this is fully closed right there. See that little gap too? And then I would pull this. You don't want, here's another tangent. The S is overlapping with this blue line. I don't know if you've heard me mention tangent before, but let me show you real quick what I mean. Let's see if I can find any good images. It's kind of hard. Let's see. I guess I could show you. This could be an example. Okay, so see how these two Scooby-Doo characters are standing this way. It makes it look like his nose is touching her hair. Now, in reality, he might be standing behind her. You know, he's 3 feet back and she's right here. Or he's to the side of her. But because the lines are touching each other, it gives the illusion that they're actually touching. Okay, so when you have touching lines in a design, we call that a tangent, and it opens up the design to misinterpretation. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. I guess these are other kinds of tangents. So you can research that a little bit more if you want to, but hopefully that kind of helps. Yeah, okay. We won't spend forever trying to show you a good example of that, but this is one of those. The curve of the S is running into the curve of this circle, creating a little bit of an issue. So I'd pull that over a little bit. Pay attention to small details. If you have a period here, you want to have a period here so you're consistent like you are anytime you have bullets. You have period at the end of all of them or periods at the end of none of them. Okay. Make sure you're consistent with this line too. Right here, it's ending here, but down here it's not. It ends before you get to the end of the word. And then I'm not sure what this is connected to. Is this connected to this part? Maybe it is, and I just can't see it because of this guide. So it probably comes down, something like that. Okay. And then these are gray. This one's gray instead of blue. So you might just be starting with those, but make sure they're all very consistent because it's kind of elaborate what you're doing. And so if it's elaborate, it needs to be really good elaborate. All right, so make sure those are nice, clean, consistent, looking awesome. New ad. See, this looks so nice now that you don't have the stroke on that. There might be a stroke a little bit over here, or that just could be the edge of the guide. Ooh, whoa, cool. Your new ad looks very interesting. Okay, so let me pull up here. It's like having 4 little guardian angels incessantly watching over your traction. And then yours is we offer protection and reliability like no others. So you're taking the theme of the guardian angel. Okay, we offer protection and reliability like no other. So you need to kind of spell out this intense guardian angel guy. So maybe underneath that, so you have your slogan here, then there's quite a bit of body copy down here. There's the logo and some additional writing. Okay, so I would have the logo and some additional writing. Whatever this is down here, I would kind of mimic some of that information at least. All right. And then I like what you've done with the writing. I like it better than the original ad. So even though it's different from the original ad, I'm going to recommend that you leave it because it's an improvement upon the original ad. I might bump this up a little bit, and then you could have a paragraph of body copy down here. So they have theirs at the bottom. You don't have space for yours at the bottom, but you could tuck yours in underneath this, and you could say, with the something you got to tie in the angel somehow. Okay, so otherwise it's too. If you saw this ad by itself, it would be a little confusing. Okay, so we have to figure out in the mind of the consumer, what does this BMW have to do with this like guardian angel of vengeance? And so that's kind of a little bit of a challenge to figure out what that marriage is. Okay, so these are cute little guardian angels. It's like having 4 little guardian angels because it's the tires, maybe. Dynamic, all drive. Yeah, all wheel drive. Okay, so we offer protection and reliability like no other. Maybe you say our with anti-lock brakes, or our suspension is as intense as an angel of vengeance or something. I don't know. That's the way your mind's got to think. You got to think, what about this BMW is like this very intense angel? In comparison to how the all-wheel drive is like those 4 little guardian angels, what about this vehicle is like this intense angel that you can just look at this ad and have it stand alone with that message, okay? So do a few more things so it looks a little bit more like that. Add in a little bit more written content here. Make the connection between these 2 images in the mind of the consumer. It's not probably going to be all-wheel drive. It's going to be something else about this car, okay? And then also, just real quick, this looks like it's squished. It doesn't, it looks more like a oval that's been stretched up and down than it does like a circle, okay? So make sure that's coming in nice and crisp and round. And then I'd probably put the ultimate driving, whatever that says, underneath this here too, okay? Black, cool. Okay, you've done some analysis here. Okay, good. This looks like an amateur version of this logo. Maybe they've done something on this ad to make it look different. But I don't know. This does not look like the BMW logo. I don't know if you redesigned this ad, but I would just try to find, or this logo, I would just try to find an actual existing logo. Let's see. Yeah. This looks like, it looks like maybe you brought in this, but I would recommend bringing in something like this. Okay. See how this looks a little bit more professional right off the bat? It has this kind of gradient in the background. It doesn't have these lines that have been drawn. Where was the one I clicked on earlier? It doesn't have these lines that have been drawn in. See how that looks more professional instantly? Okay, so bring in something like this for your final slide. Okay, so sorry, this critique is getting kind of lengthy. If you have any other questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I think you're off to a good start. You just have a lot of information on here. Typography, make sure you check for her typos, okay? So you have a lot of content on here, and also try to avoid widows. Add, just standing by itself. Original. Make sure this font is same as these fonts too. Okay, so a lot of content. Pay attention to your periods, etc. Sorry, I keep on saying things. But if you do a second draft, you need more feedback after you've made changes, feel free to shoot me an email. All right, thanks, Suzanne, and good luck this week. Bye.